Alright guys, so I want to go through a bunch of updates coming to Modern Warfare multiplayer. I want to obviously cover the patch notes, what they're changing to the game right now, but also touch upon and give sort of a status update as to when we're going to be seeing, or if at all we're going to be seeing, this major overhaul coming to the game that we talked about around the end of last month. That obviously includes, and we'll cover it within this video again, a bunch of the other possibilities, but the minimap returning to its form that we've seen in every other Call of Duty, potentially some major fundamental changes being made to the multiplayer. Now, you could agree or disagree with that, but that's what might be happening to the game, and we're going to go through if that's going to happen, when that's going to happen, and what is going on right now, because we're going to the middle, maybe to the end of November, and that's sort of when we expected this overhaul to occur, and we're not really seeing any signs of it right now. So let's just go through all the information here. Again, they're constantly changing this game, and they're really trying to go towards a certain, I guess, perfection that they're looking for. I don't know what that is going to be. I don't know what they're really aiming for at this point, but they're changing the game, and they obviously have some idea of where they want to bring this multiplayer, because they're not completely satisfied with it right now. And most people, not everyone, some people are completely satisfied with this game, but I feel like most people have so many different issues with this game and the multiplayer specifically, and Infinity Ward is really working towards fixing a lot of that stuff. So before we go through the updates here, I want to put this up on screen really quickly. 12th consecutive year, Call of Duty game has ranked as the best-selling game of its release month, and Call of Duty remains the best-selling video game franchise in US tracked history. Best-selling game of 2019 year to date. So despite any of the issues, despite anyone complaining, despite what may seem like, game-breaking features, the game is still selling well. People are playing this game, especially Modern Warfare. It's definitely a huge launch title, a huge release for 2019 this year, especially with the month of October and November. A lot of people are playing the game, and that's a good thing, at least for the Call of Duty community and just for Call of Duty fans in general. But let's go through first the big thing, what I really want you guys to actually think about, the major overhaul coming to the game. So again, the Gaming Revolution first broke this information from his source at Infinity Ward, but he's giving us an update a couple of weeks after his original tweets regarding this major overhaul. So for the hundreds of tweets I get a day asking about the Modern Warfare overhaul, the minimap, I have not heard anything since my initial tweet, and I'm not sure exactly what is going on with it at this current point in time. Naturally, info slowed down since Modern Warfare's release, and he goes on to say, if I receive any updates, I'll be sure to let you know. Apologies. So again, it's not his fault. I mean, his source is not giving him any information on what is going on with this update. Now, this can mean a bunch of different things. It can mean, for one, the source has decided to not update him anymore on what's going on. Two, the development team within Infinity Ward is just really keeping this update close-knit between the developers, and they don't want anyone else to know, and they're really working on it. They're just not giving any updates on it, and it's not really spreading around the actual development studio. But three, it could also mean that maybe this overhaul isn't actually going to happen, and the information that he originally had about their plans to do it, they just fell through, and they decided, you know what, maybe we're not going to do this. So I don't really know, and I don't think he knows as well, exactly how far along this major overhaul was for this game, because the original tweets talk about this overhaul coming to the game, but it never said that Infinity Ward is working on the overhaul. They're developing the overhaul. The minimap is 100% coming to the game. It was sort of just like, oh, it's going to be happening. It's going to be happening at the end of November. But like with most things with this game, if you think about the development cycle, and we talked about these leaks over the summer, there were so many things that they went back and forth on. I mean, I can name so many different features. The one thing for sure is the prestige system. Someone actually asked him on this tweet, could it be adding a prestige system, back to the game? And the Gaming Revolution says a clear example here. This has happened so many times, but a prestige system was in Modern Warfare up until around a month before release. I doubt they have any plans to ever add it back, but that just goes to show you they're really going back and forth, and anything could change, anything could happen. They had the prestige system in the game a month before the game was out, and then all of a sudden they decided, screw that, let's get rid of that prestige system, let's add all of this different crazy officer rank stuff, which I don't really know if it's it's going to work out right now. People don't seem to enjoy it because they're not adding the actual seasons. The way this is supposed to work is that each season you'll go through all of these officer ranks, and then you get all these different challenges as you level up, and then once you cap out and in the season, you complete all of the challenges for the season, you get certain emblems, certain calling cards or whatever, and then once the season ends, you go reset back to level 55, or I guess at this point 155, because at 155 is sort of the base level you could reach without going into the actual officer ranks beyond 155. And then you go back to that, and then you go all the way back up to all the different levels, whatever the next season is. So we have the winter season, and then the January, Valentine's Day season. I don't know how these seasons are going to work, but that's pretty much how it's supposed to work, but it's not working like that right now. But that's not the point of this video. The point is anything could change. So they could have decided the end of October, we're going to add the minimap back. People are complaining. People are pissed. They want this minimap. They want to get rid of the campers. And maybe now they decided the middle of November, you know what? People sort of adjusted and adapted to this multiplayer. We're not seeing as much hate. We're not seeing, as many people complain about it. So we're not going to add the minimap back. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is there, but that's the issue right now. So now, despite if they add the minimap back or if they don't add the minimap back, I do think there needs to be some sort of overhaul to this game. And if there's one major thing they've changed, and I think you guys know what I've been saying, close a bunch of the windows. I just hate how all of these maps have so many open spaces, open places for people to camp on 2-story buildings and all these different hiding spots. I don't like that. I would love for them to close 25% of the windows on a given map or in a given corridor. That's just my little thing. I don't know if you guys agree with me or disagree with me, whatever. But if there's something that I feel like everyone could agree upon to be in a major overhaul for this game, it's skill-based matchmaking. So, someone's asking Game Revolution, what's the possibility they remove skill-based matchmaking from the game? Now, he didn't respond, most likely because there are no actual clear updates on skill-based matchmaking, and there isn't a confirmation that it is within the game, although it is within the game. I think it's pretty clear to most people that it is, and especially with this game, it seems even more clear than before because you have a clear correlation between a high KD and the amount of level 155s you see within the game. And the KD doesn't need to be extremely high. I mean, my KD, I'm not so sure what it is. It's like 1.7 or something, but I'm getting into games with such tryhards. Like, I don't always want to go that tryhard within a game, and it sucks because it's not only taking away from the fun of the game, it's also taking away of the core matchmaking issue that it really should be based upon, which is connection. Connection should be number one. The issue that people always have within the game is connecting to lobbies, lagging. That's always been a classic Call of Duty issue, and they should work towards just keeping it towards connection. But it seems like skill-based matchmaking is almost guaranteed to be the number one way you're actually matched into a game, and then connection is number two. If anything, make it so they're at least, aligned with each other. The connection is there, but also a little bit of skill-based matchmaking. I do understand skill-based matchmaking. I mean, you don't want to be roasting noobs every single game. The casual player that plays this game would never want to play this game. And again, the casual fan base is a huge chunk, maybe even a majority of the Call of Duty fan base. You don't want to discourage them from playing the game. I understand it completely. But for the core community that spends the most money on Call of Duty and is constantly playing the game throughout the whole year, you can't match them with their same skill level every single game because it'll never be fun. At least have a mixture. Some games with kids that just got the game, some Christmas noobs, and then some games with tryhards. Why can't they just find a good medium? Why does it have to be your exact KD or your exact skill level or just tryhards against tryhards every single game? If you wanted to do that, play ranked play. Put them in a league play match, but not in normal public matches. So hopefully, again, I don't need them to remove it. I don't think they need to completely remove it because it's not going to happen anyway, but at least mitigate it a bit. Make sure connection is number one, and also make sure there's a fair medium between the amount of games you're getting with kids that are high levels and kids that are lower levels. That's it. I don't know. Just find a good medium. So let me give you guys a bunch of the updates within this game. I'm sorry it took so long to get to this. We're at 9 minutes now, but I just, I was feeling pretty passionate about skill-based place matchmaking. Ashton Williams tweeted out, working on a patch that includes fixes for a good handful of challenges and officer progression bugs. No estimated time arrival on when it'll go live, but it's currently being tested. And then another one here, a PC update is rolling out now and includes overall stability improvements and fixes like the dev error 6178 and implements fixes for cutscene stuttering and hitching. Please let us know at Activision Assist if you're still experiencing any of this. Okay, whatever. These updates actually weren't that big of a deal, so I'm not gonna lie. I don't feel as bad throwing these at the end of the video and not putting them at the beginning of the video. But what's going on right now with this game is that they're changing the multiplayer every single day, at least behind the scenes, and we're seeing some major updates within the game as well, slowly working towards progressing this multiplayer to its perfection, to its perfect form that I feel like it will get to. This multiplayer has a ton of potential. I feel like that's what everyone's been saying. This multiplayer has so much potential. There's just so many things that they need to fix, some easy fixes, and then this could be a pretty good year. Right now, I'm having fun. I like this game a lot more than I did when the game first came out. I feel like you can tell when I was making videos, I was just saying like, damn, they need to change so much stuff. But now I'm growing towards it. I'm really understanding the game, but I still think there are a couple of clear issues that they could, change within this game to make it a fun game and really just such a good Call of Duty. I know some people disagree with me and some people disagree with a bunch of people, but adding the minimap back would really be a game changer. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think the minimap, or at least the red, because we do have a minimap, but at least the red dots showing up when enemies shoot, that is not that big of a deal. And I know people are saying, oh, it puts you more in the game if the red dots aren't there. It lets you, focus more on the map as opposed to just, staring at the minimap. But like with this game especially, the amount of different places you could be, I feel like the minimap is essential, and it would really be such a game changer, and this game would be so fun if they add it back. And I know I don't want to seem like I'm a noob or I'm complaining, but I feel like a ton of people agree with me, so hopefully you guys don't roast me. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know what you guys think about this. I mean, we're really going towards a certain point in Call of Duty where they need to make these decisions. I mean, this overhaul needs to come soon. They can't bring this overhaul, the end of Modern Warfare, because no one's gonna care. Bring this overhaul now. If you're gonna do it now. If you're not gonna do it, let us know, and that's it. I'm just, make the decision now. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy, and we're just gonna have to see what happens. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.